Welcome to Figure Skating Land. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Jilly, figure skating enthusiast, neuropsychologist, and lover of orange kitty cat. And so I'm going to be talking a little bit about Golden Spin of Zagreb. I must admit, I'm going to pull an Ashley Wagner and say I didn't get to watch the whole competition, but I did get to watch, the top 3 for each category. Let me first say it's not my fault completely because I just wasn't willing to spend $29 on the live stream. So I really had to dig around and search for them and kind of weed through all the copyright ones that already got pulled down by the time I was able to, take the time to watch this competition. But eventually, after I went on my journey, I got to watch some skating. And I must say, though, it's different when you have to kind of piecemeal watch a competition as opposed to getting to open up and watch the entire thing. I think like when you watch it, you feel like you're there or you feel like you're more involved in it, even if you're not watching it live. Like I can watch a competition from let's say 1996, which that's actually probably something I did watch back in the day and feel like, oh my gosh, who's gonna win? What's going on? Oh, this is fun. But when I'm watching hodgepodge here and there, it's just not the same. And I'm hoping figure skating will kind of figure out a way that they can make it more accessible to people. This is the last competition from the Challenger series, and I must admit, until this year, I didn't watch a whole lot of the Challenger events because it's hard to get to watch them. And I'm glad I did because you get to see a lot of skaters that you haven't seen before. Like I have never seen the winners from the ice dance, Phebe, Bekker, and James Hernandez. I never seen them until this event. I think they're fairly new on the scene anyway, but still, I just love when I get to see people I would normally wouldn't get to see. I was surprised here because I expected, Deanna Davis. I thought she's definitely going to win. There's no way in hell they're not going to have them win, but they ended up getting silver medal. And so it's interesting because I thought once they became IAM that they would be scoring much higher all across the board. I thought, okay, they're going to be getting gold, and they're not. But I do know they also keep making maybe some small mistakes here and there that's preventing them from really winning. And I would be interested to see what their score shapes out to be when they end up skating their programs cleanly. I do really like their free skate, but I also think it's a lot. They have to be on the whole time or they're just not going to be able to successfully complete it because it looks like it involves a lot of energy. And one thing that Jean-Luc had talked about in Skate America was how difficult this program is. And it does seem like it is something that they're just trying to get used to. And I'm just interested to see how Europeans goes. Are they going to end up medaling there? In fact, I can't really fully predict who may end up winning or medaling at Europeans. Is it going to be Fear and Gibson? Is it going to be Olivia and Tim? Which I can't wait to see that program again. And luckily, there'll be a way for us to see Europeans. When it came to the pair skating, these are more skaters that I haven't got to see before as well. I've seen Spencer and Emily, but I haven't got to see the gold medals here from Poland. But the real surprise here was Audrey Chen and Balazs Nye from the U.S. They're a new team, and Audrey is completely new to pairs, and you would not have 100% known that from this competition. There's still some things she needs to iron out. There's a couple things that kind of looks like a little bit of that she's still used to being a single skater. But this is not what I expected her to be at this point. I mean, for example, and I hate to do a comparison, but Gabriella, Izzo, whenever they're doing the jumps and the throws, you can see some hesitancy with her. With Audrey, no, you can it just feels like she's been doing this a whole lot longer. And I keep thinking what she's secretly doing pairs, underneath their radar, behind the scenes or something, because either that or she's just fearless. And I feel with pairs, it takes a lot to get used to. And of course, they're still meshing together. She's a whole lot further. Maybe she's kind of like the Deanna do that, of US, where there's almost a natural pairs talent. And I don't know exactly what that would be other than being able to be in sync with someone. But it is really impressive and it's really cool. And I think they're going to be at nationals. In fact, I also think this competition actually gives them enough points to go to Worlds if they end up, getting to go and qualifying, which is a mind blown to me because they're so brand new. And fun fact, actually, when I was at nationals, in Columbus, I ended up sneaking to the VIP section, which really just basically It was on the judge's side. So it's not like I went behind a curtain or anything. And there was actually no one really paying attention. But I ended up having her father sit in front of me during her skate. And you can just see him like on the edge of his seat watching. And I just felt also the audience was so supportive. Like after she skated, he said, oh, she did well to him. But anyway, this is just really awesome. I think it's, a lot different than Gabby. I think they're just going to have to, just some normal expected. Here's what you got to kind of get used to. The throws and the side by side. I do think maybe their twists are a little bit better. But just some, some growing pains essentially. And, Emily and Spencer, they didn't have a 100%, clean outing here. They're still coming back from the injury. I feel like it's been a bit since I've got to see them skate really clean. And it's nothing against them. They've been, kind of getting used to coming back. But I would like to be able to see them at their strongest because a lot of people will talk about like, oh, they were great so-and-so years ago. And I feel like maybe they weren't on my radar in the past. So when it comes to like my skating fandom journey, I would always watch singles. And really within the past few years, like probably since 2020 on, watch pairs and ice dance. And so I feel like I'm still playing catch up when it comes to this fandom. For the men, I wish I could find Nikita from Georgia's short program and free program. I looked forever. I went on such a journey and never found it because I want to see a Terry's reaction to his score of him getting like 4th place. I don't know if she ended up doing the like, you're a dude, so it's okay, or if she's like really sick of his shit. Like I just want to see, because I saw their last competition and you could see she was slowly like bursting into flames a bit, and I just want to see how she reacted because first he was 5th in the short program, then he got 4th, and I just though think back to Worlds. Like I watched that man just in real time just go right into the boards, and I feel like if any of the women, like if Anna or Sasha or Eliana would have done that, sorry, Alana, but if any of them would have done that, she would have lost her mind. Just so bizarre to me. I just wanted to see it, and I wanted to see how he did, but I didn't get to. That was a journey that I just gave up on after a while, because again, like they decided to make this to where you just spend $30. Every time I'd say the story, it's going to be like another $1 added. Either spend a bit for the stream or you go on a journey. But I did get to see the brothers from Estonia, their showdown. It's interesting because Mihhail, from a technical standpoint, way outshined his brother, and he also was able to do like the quad. I think it was like the quad, or the quad toe, triple toe, beautifully, and even the triple axel. Like he did everything amazing. And his brother, though, from a musicality standpoint, and from like an artistic standpoint, outshined him. Terry's reaction didn't do as well on the technical standpoint. I am also so curious, like in a competition, it's like how does it go for them when they go home? Like are they like yay on the way home? Or is there tension? I just don't know the dynamic. So somebody fill me in on this. It's something I tried to go down a rabbit hole. And then once I went down that rabbit hole, went down another rabbit hole. And if anyone knows the dynamic, let me know. I'm just kind of curious. And of course, they've probably been competing against each other for so long that maybe they're used to it. Probably I wonder they're like how the other one would feel if one of them got to go to like Worlds and the other one didn't, which has actually happened before. So I may go down this rabbit hole again if none of y'all know. And for the 3rd place winner here, I am not purposely not talking about him. I just couldn't find the program, unfortunately. As for Alysa Liu, she won here, and that is so exciting. She's won every Challenger Series that she's competed in so far this season, so kudos to her. She looked like she had so much more stamina this time for her free program, and that is very just exciting to watch, because also what they did was they really set her up for success by changing around some things in her program. So instead of kind of making her just keep on doing things the way she had been doing, what they did was they moved the difficult line camel to earlier in the program. They moved her step sequence after the jumps, which is good. So kudos to them for kind of figuring out, okay, this what needs to be changed and let's do it. And also now she is doing an axle sequence instead of the Euler Selevko combination. So overall, this was a really smart way for them to do it, and she was able to pull it off. Like some skaters, they struggle whenever they have to make any changes to their program. So she pulled it off. And so that is so exciting. And also, I loved seeing her Instagram post about it. She was positive, but it also showed that she still kind of has that like Gen Z vibe. So for Bradie, she started out here in actual first place and then dropped to third because she had a couple falls in the program. It looks like she just needs to, coming back from the injury, build up stamina and be able to do the jumps, because I know I had heard that she in practice is able to do all of this, so maybe just getting through it during competition where there's the adrenaline and everything. But for short program, one thing that stood out to me was a lot more energy going into kind of the Lord of the Dance sequence slash that kind of looks like a river dance but not a river dance. Now, one thing that I really appreciated on the run through is they brought up like, hey, so the reason she does the program, like the little step sequence the way she does, is not her. It's more like this is what her choreographer has her do. And that's when it clicked with me is, oh, so like maybe that's why it is the way it is, and it's not Bradie not putting the energy into it. But regardless, like I felt like she had more of an oomph in her, like a pep in her step, and she was engaging the audience, which is really cool. As for Nina Pizzaroni from Belgium coming in second place, she did really well here under rotations. It's one thing she's going to have to work on. I don't remember last year if this was a major problem for her or if maybe she wasn't getting kind of scored to reflect it. I still notice this thing where she has to look back before she jumps, and I kind of hope that she, builds her confidence again, because I felt like last season she was confident enough to be like, I am young, fear me. But then she had like the falling down the stairs thing and the nosebleed, and suddenly she's just not quite where she was. She's still a beautiful skater, and people talk about how she doesn't bend her knee a lot, and I got something now I just cannot unsee, so thank you guys. So overall, this was fun to watch for like the few clips that I could. You can see some skaters look less nervous when they're not at like a big Grand Prix event. This is still, I think, one of the bigger Challenger series. I mean, it's like the last one. It's almost like the hoorah, the wrap up. But it is nice to see them in like what you call like a senior B competition, because they do tend to not be as nervous when they skate. And it's just nice to kind of see how the programs play out.
An honor for me to say you are officially a Canadian citizen.
So Deanna got her Canadian citizenship. I am so excited for her and so proud. And I think I'm proud as if like I did something. But anyway, I did not contribute to this, except I did sign the petition online. So never mind, I can have pride because maybe I have a splash to do with it. So she got her citizenship, which is, not an easy feat. I've looked up in the past kind of how to become a Canadian citizen, and it's not that easy. So that is awesome. And one thing I do love that Mac held the dog while she was signing the papers to it. So that is awesome. Still curious, is it their dog or her dog? It feels very much like their dog. They were soft launched. I don't care what anybody says in life. That was a soft launch into a relationship, and don't tell me any different. Do not want to know. Oh, and also what was neat is I saw one of the clips. Deanna's mother actually came for the ceremony, and she was tearing up with pride, and her dog was just the most sweetest thing ever. And so now she's gonna get to go to the Olympics, and I think she actually had mentioned. I think she mentioned in a reel, unless I'm like getting all these things hybrided, that she may be going to 4 continents. So we may get to see her there actually. And Madison Chock, who I adore, made the New York Times for her costume designs. And so that was really cool. It really makes me hopeful that she is going to be able to launch into her career. And I mean, she's already kind of launched into it because she's done her own. And then Olivia, I mean, like whenever she retires from the field, maybe, she will be going hardcore into making costumes. And it kind of makes me want to make up a reason for her to make a costume. Like when she does this like full time, I feel like I need to skate just to have a random costume designed by her. And there was a group of us who were involved in Starr Andrews' Instagram Live, and she had, of course, her adorable cats. I keep forgetting she has naked cats or bald cats. They're adorable. I don't care what anybody says, and they are so sweet. Like she had them hanging out in her jacket and everything. But of note for that, she mentioned that she is for sure going to compete next year, because someone asked her how much longer she plans to compete, and she said definitely next year. And she also mentioned that she has been coaching and I think doing some of the learn to skate things. So it's just kind of neat to hear that. And we'll be seeing her at nationals, she said. Isabella Flores posted an ad, and I don't know when it was recorded, but you can see who was filming it. So that was interesting. It was almost kind of like it wasn't hidden, kind of like you could see. I don't know if that was on purpose. She could be like, hey, he's still here. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. And so close to her retirement, Gabriella Papadakis and Madison Hubbell announced that they will be skating together at Art on Ice. And so I just keep wondering, why don't I go to Art on Ice ever? I mean, come on. So one of these days, I'm just going to go to like Art on Ice and all these other random things. But yeah, so I am happy because I know she had posted, it made it seem like that, this is a chapter my life closed. It was so near and dear to me, but now she's still getting to skate, which is awesome. Oh, and before I close out, I want to mention that when I said pulling an Ashley Wagner, that I was just joking because basically I was referencing the Reddit thread that's going on. So for those of you guys who, I highly doubt some of y'all will watch me and not listen to the run through. It's more likely to be vice versa. Watch them, not watch me. But anyway, so for the run through, Ashley had mentioned that she didn't watch the Grand Prix final, and some people on Reddit had talked about it. Something to think about, and this is something that, like, after kind of reading a lot of comments, and I started to kind of marinate on. So not only is she a mother and was going to Iceland, also, like, she's in grad school. I don't know if it's for psychology. I do know it's in something mental health related, because I think I saw on one of her Instagram lives or Facebook live, not lives, but stories, her holding like a DBT book. And so as someone who's been through grad school, it is like, I cannot even begin to tell you how much it takes your life away and how much your life changed. Like, even like I would watch figure skating, but it was almost like in the background, because if you're watching it, you're thinking about all the things you need to do. And if you are watching it and doing something, you're more likely paying attention to what you are doing. So we may not get like the best like recaps from her for a bit because of that. I mean, I just couldn't imagine. Like, I mean, I think back to my grad school and like, because I got my master's before my doctorate, and my master's was just as time consuming as my doctorate. So like, even if she's in a master's, not a doctoral program, like that just takes it just takes so much of your life away. So we probably need to give her some grace. And there's also a lot of discussion about like, oh, it's not as great without not Olympic champion Sarah Hughes. And so one thing I had commented, and one thing I've noticed, like, it's just not the same. Like, it's still really great. I adore Ashley and Adam. Like, they are hilarious. I love their insight. I love their banter. But I just got used to all three of them. And there was something like magic, and I can't explain it, about all three, like all the balance. And I'm also someone who doesn't like change. And I just kind of really I just like the dry sense of humor, not I don't know why I keep saying not Olympic champion Sarah Hughes. But, they're just kind of going through a rough patch right now. Like, in the past, what we can remember is when Ashley was really busy with school or something, then not an Olympic champion Sarah Hughes could get in and kind of take the place. But unfortunately, they don't have that right now. And so they're really just working with what they got. And Adam said he was launching another podcast, and he said to call a number. And I keep forgetting to call a number. I actually wanted to call a number and see what happens. I keep forgetting. But anyway, I hope, the run through is able to get through this. Like, I still adore it, but my mind kind of works like theirs. And so I'm all over the place in my mind. And so I can kind of follow it. And I do agree that, you're not going to watch it for recap, but I really also appreciated some comments that I got to read on Reddit about people talking about how they felt about recaps in general. And that's really why I tried to make today's episode a little bit less recappy. It's kind of hard because also like vlogging figure skating competitions is really like my thing, but also you can't keep going to those. So I was trying to find something to do to where I could still, be making videos about figure skating and in the figure skating community. And it really helped me think like, okay, you don't need to give a technical breakdown of everything. And that's why I think maybe this episode today, even though I didn't get to watch all the programs, like, it just felt more, enjoyable. And it's just really good to kind of hear, because that's actually not a whole lot of my person. I'm more like Jill, so you'll probably get more like a conversational style type of I don't want to say recap, but like discussion of competitions from here on out. I'm going to wrap this up officially now. And so next week, I'm going to be posting like a Christmas themed video about figure skating. And then I don't want to promise for the few of you guys who end up watching this, especially watching this at the end, I don't want to promise per se like another video, but I'll probably will do like a Grand Prix wrap up for like the year. It just depends on how Christmas goes, to be honest. Like I'm off the whole week, so like probably, I mean, like nobody, my husband doesn't have the whole week off, so that means I can record a video literally anywhere. But anyway, so like I probably will end up doing that. But anyway, all right, y'all. See you next week for the Christmas themed video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully y'all didn't mind this kind of freestyle type of video. All right, see y'all next week.